Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depend on where in the world you are tuning in from. Welcome to the very first Shaping EDU Pente Challenge. I'm so excited to be here with you, fresh back from parental leave. I'm Samantha Becker, and I am the co-founder of Shaping EDU, along with Lev Gonick, as well as the executive director for creative and communications at ASU's University Technology Office. I'm so pleased to be swimming along with you today, and I know everything will go swimmingly. And to make sure that that happens, I'm going to send it on over to our host with the most, Stephanie Parati. Tell us what we have in store for today.
Hello, everyone. So today we have an exciting underwater adventure planned for you. But before we dive in, we're going to spend a little time talking about who we are, why we're here, what we do, and how we're going to make an impact on lifelong learning for folks all over the world through the guidance and hard work of our community. So if we could go to the next slide, just a little bit of intro to our social world. So we can connect with you on Twitter as well as LinkedIn. We have a new LinkedIn page. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. The hashtags are there for us to take a peek at, and please use those if you post while the event's happening or after the event. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of fun videos there from past events, and this event also will be added to the YouTube channel once we wrap this up. So looking at the agenda for day one, welcome everyone. So we are here, we're excited to be with you, and always excited to convene the community online and connect folks from all over the world. So we'll do a quick preview of Shaping EDU, then we'll jump into a fun activity with our Serious Play Studio, and then we will spend a little time talking about what we're doing today and tomorrow. Then we'll give you 2.5 solid hours of working session time with your teams so you guys can get started on your projects and your pitch. And then we'll regroup, do some quick share outs and just find out what everybody's been up to. And then we'll meet our expert resources. So those are the folks that'll be joining us tomorrow to help you with various elements of your pitch. And then we'll let you guys go and we'll see you tomorrow. So moving on to day two. Oh, we're not going to do that till later. So Pente by the numbers. What are we doing here? We've got 5 calls to action. Those are the things that drive us in everything that we do. That's the common thread that pulls all the projects together through our community. We have 5 action teams that support those 5 calls to action, figuring out how we can be most impactful in those areas. So each team has 10 to 25 members. That's you, you're part of a team. And we have folks joining us from 6 countries around the world. And we have 5 judges that will decide which projects get how much funding. So moving on. Next slide, please. So we have a code of conduct. We like everyone to play nice here. So please be respectful of everyone in your group. We want to make sure that debate is healthy. We want to make sure that we're keeping it kind and respectful. We want you to be empathetic as well. So we want to make sure that everyone's feelings are considered, then everyone's voice is heard. And we want you to be free. So if you feel like the session you're participating in, the team that you're working with, if you're not feeling it, just let us know. We'll either put you in another team or have a chat with you about how else you can participate. Next slide, please. Now we have an intro from Lev, our fearless leader, the CIO of Arizona State University and the co-founder of Shaping EDU.
Well, hello there, all you Shaping EDU folks around the world. We're ready for a deep dive, I think. At least that's what they've got me ready for here. I hope you're going to join us all. Coming up real shortly, an opportunity to take our 5 major areas of engagement that we've been working on this last year and really put together. Teams have been formed, up to about 15 people a team, working together over the next short period of time to come up with a pitch a pitch that will advance any of the major themes that have informed the work of Shaping EDU. And that pitch is not only going to be good for advancing the work of Shaping EDU, but in Shark Tank-like style, you're actually also going to be having an opportunity to actually win some cash. Maybe actually even take your idea into the commercial marketplace. And so for those of you who don't know, hi, it's Lev Gonick from Arizona State University, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you online soon.
Thank you, Lev. So let's dive in a little bit deeper and talk about what Shaping EDU is, what we're doing, where we're going to go, and how we're going to get there. Next slide, please. So we are a community that is a constellation of dreamers, doers, and drivers. So we convene our team around the world to foster change for lifelong learners. And we create immersive experiences, and we lead value-focused projects. And the idea is to create resources that we can give back to you, the community members, to take back to your communities of practice to foster change. So how do we do that? We like to take a design approach to what we're doing. We like to take a survey of our community members, find out what's going on in their respective communities, surface challenges and opportunities in these communities around the world. And then we bring everyone together in an environment like this to ideate how we can best address those challenges and opportunities. And then we go into the problem-solving mode and we look at how to prototype things and test them. So this is all part of the process. The Pente Challenge is part of this process to foster change. So as I mentioned, we have 5 calls to action. So everything we do is driven by these calls to action, and they guide us toward purposeful destinations. Next slide, please. So these are the 5 calls to action. These beautiful icons were created by Karina Branson. You want to say hi, Karina? So Karina has agreed to help us facilitate our sessions today as well. So you might see her popping in and out of sessions and creating some really cool graphics that capture the moment and capture the progress that we're making here. So you'll see those posted on the website, and you'll also see those within the YouTube channel as well. So something else to be mindful of, aside from and supplemental to our 5 calls to action, is all the work that the UN is doing with their Sustainable Development Goals and Education 2030. So I pulled 4 here just to show some things that we're mindful of as we create our calls to action, our events. Again, we're not just focused on the ASU community or the Arizona community. We're really being mindful of the global landscape for learning and how we can affect change in those regions. So what do we do? Who we are? What are we doing? How do we get there? Here we are. So we form our 5 calls to action, and then we activate the community. So really what we're focusing on today are 4 things. We have our calls to action. Those really guide us in creating our action teams. So we have 5 action teams that are convening today. And through events like this, team challenge events, we create solution-focused projects. So that's really what we're leaning into today, is creating projects that will foster change. And by sharing those things, by creating tools such as workshops, research, explorations, insights, all of these things are shareable and they're free to our community. So it's really important that we roll up our sleeves and dive deep today and make sure that we're addressing the challenges facing the community around the world. So we have, as I mentioned, 5 teams that align with our 5 calls to action. As you can see, they're all purposeful and meant to address these rally cries, if you will, that we put out into the community to get the best folks from around the world around the Shaping EDU table to help us address the challenges that we're facing and create opportunities to create amazing things that we can then share back out to the community. So a couple of cool things that we've been working on that will debut this year. we're going to have an annual living report. And that is meant to really be a place to go to at any time where the work of these teams, the work of the Shaping EDU community will be highlighted. And we can point to that at any given time and make sure that everyone has all the information they need to activate change within their own communities. So just a peek at the events that we have coming up this year. April 26th, mark your calendars, save the date. We have our first Spotlight Mini Summit. That'll be a half-day event on April 26th, where we're exploring the intersection of emerging credentials and future employers. So how are digital credentials, stack credentials affecting the future of employment? We'll revisit our virtual summer camp. For those of you that attended Learning Human back a couple of years ago, we have a couple of days of virtual summer camp where we'll really do an exploration of the landscape of learning and how technology is advancing learning and what we can do to help that along. And then in August, we'll have our first Serious Play Studio Summit, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then in November, we're having the first of its kind Shaping EDU Intersections event, where we're exploring the in the Venn diagram of things, how the intersection of ed tech and museums come together. So we're looking at the challenges museums, education and museums is facing through our lens, and vice versa. So together we hope to combine forces to address many challenges. So I would, without further ado, we should introduce our friends from Serious Play Studio. And with that, I will toss it over to Laura.